What's going on, guys? My name is Aldenero and welcome to my first ever album review. I've literally never reviewed an album before, so I want to just see what it's like to actually do that. Today we're going to be talking about Who Built the Moon, which is Noel Gallagher's latest album. It came out yesterday, although it leaked online like on Monday, I think, and it's been sort of floating around. There's a lot of reviews out there at the moment, and the general consensus is, as always with the Noel Gallagher album, quite mixed. The Irish Times gave it a 1-star review, and they were like really overly critical, I found. They made like some valid points about the actual music, but then they also said, well, this is a middle-aged Man City fan we're dealing with, as if that's some kind of ability to perceive what the music is like. But anyway, it's produced by David Holmes. It's the first time that he's ever produced a Noel Gallagher album, and it's just a different type of album from Noel. Like in terms of the lyrics, they're kind of what you would expect from a Noel Gallagher album, but the general theme and the way that it sounds is not all that similar. It's a little bit electronic. It's quite psychedelic in comparison to his previous albums, and it feels more thematic to me. It flows really, really well. It's got an absolutely beautiful album cover, which is what I keep looking at when I look here because it's on my screen. It looks like it is some distant planet from No Man's Sky. It looks like the Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds album cover for Who Built the Moon is like the game that No Man's Sky should have been. It's just like, it's an absolutely stunning picture, and the whole album just feels like how that picture looks, if that makes any sense. But that's the kind of album that it is. It starts off with this song called Fort Knox, which is an empowering, stylish Kickstarter track to let you know what you're getting yourself in for here. It's part Kasabian, part Kanye West, and it is going to be on the main menu for FIFA 19. It's going to be used in football compilations on Sky Sports. It's going to be in car ads, and Noel is going to make a lot of money from that track. People are going to be Googling, like, what's that song that goes like, and then they're going to like type in the music in it, because there's not a whole lot of lyrics, but it is a deadly song opener, or album opener. From there it fades into a track called Holy Mountain, which is probably the most exciting song on the album in terms of its energy. It's not one I was particularly mad about when I first heard it, but it was just really nice to hear new Noel music. Comparisons have been made between that song and Ricky Martin's She Bangs, I think. But I don't actually hear it, and that's partially because I have no desire to go back and find out what Ricky Martin's She Bangs actually sounds like. So for now, I'm just quite comfortable not knowing that there is a similarity, if indeed there is supposed to be one. It's a Beautiful World is the track that defines the tone of the album for me. It's like a pleasant LSD hallucination on some desert road trip or something like that. It's probably Noel's most spiritual song overall, and it's the song I think of when I picture the album cover. Like, it's describing some kind of Technicolor utopia on some distant planet designed by James Cameron. The only time for me that the album stumbles is in Careful What You Wish For. It's a kind of swampy cowboy song that fits within the tone of the album in terms of how it actually sounds, but that's kind of it. Like, it's only in the production. He whispers over the heel-studded beat and sings in a Southern American / heavily English accent, and I just don't really think it works. It sounds like just off-kilter somehow. It does bounce back into free-flowing form with the next song though, which is Black and White Sunshine, which is the only song that would suit Liam's vocals on the album, I think. It's essentially a Dig Out Your Soul era Oasis song with a lo-fi Instagram filter flashed across the front of it. It's upbeat and it's got a big chorus, but I can't stop thinking about how Liam singing the verses and then Noel coming in on the chorus, and just how good of a B-side that might have been for Oasis in the year 2008. The title track itself, Who Built the Moon, plays out like the final scene in a Western film. It's loaded with characters. It's like it sets a scene. It's really tense and gripping. The lyrics, you and I, the spider and the fly, shall meet where the shadows fall, as the closing lines in that song, and then it goes into the credits of the album, and it just feels like a mega scene at the end of a huge Western movie. And that's kind of what this album feels like. It's weirdly Western influenced, and I think you find that in a lot of Noel's stuff. Do You Know What I Mean from Be Here Now, he says, step off the train all alone at dawn, back into the hole where I was born, the sun in the sky never raised an eye to me. And that sounds like the start of a Clint Eastwood movie or something, just that scene. Get Off Your High Horse Lady was a track on Dig Out Your Soul, which also just felt very Western, and even The Death of You and Me just feels like it takes place in the 1870s in some town in the desert somewhere. And this album sort of feels like that too. It kind of just veers into this weird neo-psychedelic version of a Western orchestra, and I actually really dig it. I was sort of very excited about the album when I heard it was released, and then I heard Holy Mountain and I was like, this is interesting because it's definitely Noel's vocals, it's definitely Noel's lyrics, but it just doesn't feel all that much like a Noel song. And that sort of made me think that the album is going to be something completely different. It's not completely different. It's basically just a neo-psychedelic version of the first Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds album, I think. And I think we're all richer having it in our lives. I'm going to give it like a 7 out of 10 because I think lyrically it's not really that strong, but I absolutely love the production on it, and I just absolutely love the sound of it. And one thing it has in its favor that it is really underrated is that it actually sounds and looks like an album. Just in its packaging, it's packaged like an album. It has a central theme that sort of flows through every track, not lyrically, but there's just a presence that exists in every song that feels similar. They're all sort of tied to this psychedelic city in the sky, and just the cover and everything, it's fantastic. It's just really good album packaging, I think, which is a weird thing to give too much credit to, but I think it's something that we're losing in the era of the song. So that is my review of that album. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, sure, leave a like. Why not? It definitely won't hurt. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.